What happens when the person you trusted with your life ends up destroying everything? Tonight, Jim Jones was sentenced to prison, and his day one brother, Cameron, was the one who delivered the final blow. But that's not even the worst part, Nee. A cruel turn of events that no one saw coming. Cameron's own family just leaked explosive secrets about Chrissy's secrets, which is so devastating. As the cameras rolled and the streets continued to talk, Chrissy was seen sobbing as her entire world collapsed in front of her. Was this justice or pure retaliation? Tonight we ripped open the truth they attempted to conceal, exposing covert betrayals, intense rivalries, and a scandal so raw that it has Harlem on the verge of erupting. Stay tuned, because once you hear what happened, you'll understand why. You'll never look at loyalty the same way behind those closed doors again. Sometimes, in history, events take an unexpected turn and nothing is ever the same again. Is one of those times when Jim Jones, once an untouchable force in the game, was found guilty and given a prison sentence? Yes, you read correctly. The news came as a shock, and just when, as if the courtroom drama wasn't enough, Cameron, yes, the same Cameron who is known for his sharp tongue and quick wit, has now found himself under attack. The worst part is that he revealed Chrissy's darkest secrets, which were so shocking that even the toughest of us had to stop and think. At this point, everyone thought the dust had settled, but a bombshell was dropped that none of us saw coming. What actually occurs behind the scenes of their public persona. You can already feel the tension in the air, can't you? Jim Jones is imprisoned, his empire is in ruins, and Cameron is now caught in a whirlwind of chaos. But wait, there's more. What if I told you that the drama doesn't end with a few secrets being revealed? Oh, believe me, it gets much darker and more twisted. Let's break it down. Jim Jones' legacy in hip-hop. His role as his downfall was years in the making. A slow burn that no one could stop. Industry rumors about his connections, dubious dealings. And dubious people he's been hanging out with have been getting louder for a while now. Nobody could have predicted it would come to this point. Speaking of connections, let's talk about Cameron. When Cam dropped the bomb on, let's start with Jim Jones. He was always more than just a rapper. He was a brand and a symbol. However, beneath that polished exterior, it's easy to get caught up in the music and forget what really happened. Chrissy, we thought the game was over for everyone involved. But what really happened was, who was pulling the strings, and what did Chrissy have to lose that would have made her react the way she did? Could this whole situation have been avoided, or was it always going to blow up in their faces? That these public figures frequently have more on their plates than we realize. Accusations of corruption, shady dealings, and betrayal are no longer rumors. They are facts, and these facts are the reason Jim Jones is currently incarcerated. Sources close to the case have leaked information that links Jim to criminal activities that are beyond the scope of any rap career. Don't get me wrong, this isn't some crazy conspiracy theory. We have reports, witness statements, and indisputable evidence that links Jim to illegal activities that went unchecked for far too long. However, this is where things get interesting. Chrissy Lampin is the woman at the center of this storm. If you thought it was just about Jim, rethink your assumptions. The real story lies in Cameron stepping into the fire without hesitation to reveal Chrissy's true identity. But was it worth it because of his loyalty to his friend and the truth? Chrissy's involvement, her connection to the criminal underworld, and the lengths she would go to in order to protect the secrets she has been hiding for years. What happens when someone's secrets are revealed? The facade comes crashing down, and what was once private becomes public. The whole scene is a mess of power struggles, backstabbing, and dubious choices. Jim's downfall wasn't just his own. It was a reflection of those around him who made it possible for him to rise to prominence and are now witnessing his collapse in real time. Chrissy, on the other hand, is at the center of it all. Holding thee as the story progresses, we'll delve deeper into what went wrong, how the players got involved, and why this whole situation is about to get a lot messier. However, before we do so, let's take a moment to understand the magnitude of what we're witnessing. Skeletons in her closet that could take down more than just Jim. So where does this leave Cameron, caught in the middle, battling his own demons, while trying to navigate a world of betrayal and secrets? As we continue to peel back the layers of this shocking scandal, we delve deeper into the web of lies, betrayals, and secrets that have been carefully kept hidden from the public eye. Is a high-stakes game of survival, power, and treachery, and every single one of these players is about to face the consequences. So how did it all fall apart for Jim Jones? What dirty secrets is Chrissy hiding? Why did Cameron risk everything to expose the truth? The fallout from Cameron's explosive revelations is just starting to unfold. And let me tell you, people, what Cameron revealed isn't just drama, it's the kind of truth that rocks the foundation of this entire world. Everybody knows Chrissy, Lumpkin, who has always been the epitome of strength and loyalty by Jim's side. However, what if I told you that loyalty is nothing more than the truth, is that Chrissy has been concealing some dark secrets that, if revealed, could completely alter the way we view her relationship with Jim Jones. You see, Jim's arrest wasn't just about him. It was also about what Chrissy was attempting to protect. For years, she has been the gatekeeper, maintaining a firm hold on the empire Jim built to safeguard their brand. The details of Chrissy's involvement in these sinister activities have been gradually coming to light, and what we've discovered is nothing short of astounding. To the public, Chrissy was always the devoted partner and supportive fiancé who supported Jim through thick and thin. But behind closed doors, she was a different woman, one who was willing to Chrissy's alleged involvement in a number of illicit financial transactions that spanned several years was one of the biggest revelations from Cameron's expose. In his typical no-holds-barred style, Cameron didn't just hint at these activities. He laid it all out. There were offshore accounts and shadowy figures moving money in and out of the country. And deals with Jim may have been the public face of his criminal empire. But according to several anonymous sources, Chrissy wasn't just a bystander. She wasn't just supporting Herman. She was a co-conspirator in many of these shady dealings. In fact, some insiders say that Chrissy was the mastermind behind several crucial decisions. Underworld figures that no one had the courage to even question. But this is where it gets even more twisted. Imagine this. Chrissy, the woman we've all seen on reality TV, was manipulating circumstances in the background to safeguard their assets and strengthen their hold over the game. She had secrets so dangerous that they could destroy not only Jim's career, but also her own. And it wasn't just the financial aspect of things, though. No, it goes deeper than that. Chrissy had her hands in some pretty shady places where dangerous people were involved illegally. Actions and threats that could jeopardize not only her life, but also her future. Now, I understand what you're thinking. How did Chrissy go from being the woman we all believe to be faithful to her man to someone who might be involved in organized crime? Well, people, that's the real story here. The more we investigate Chrissy's involvement, the more we find reports from a number of reliable sources, according to sources. Chrissy was not only aware of Jim's activities, but also willingly participated in money laundering schemes, helping to transfer millions of dollars through phony charities and legitimate businesses while posing as the obliging fiancé in front of the cameras. This is a prime example of the kind of double life that many people in the entertainment industry lead, where public figures maintain a flawless public persona. When Cameron revealed Chrissy's involvement, it sent shockwaves through the entire industry. His words were not just an attack on Chrissy. They were a challenge to the very foundation of the empire Jim and Chrissy had built. However, let's not forget about the one thing that really put the entire operation at risk: Cameron. And that's when the gloves came off. But why did Cameron do it? Why risk everything too, according to people close to Cameron? He wasn't just acting maliciously when he decided to expose Chrissy, someone he once thought of as a friend and a close confidant. Cameron felt that the public should know the truth about the glitzy lives of celebrities like Jim and Chrissy. And he wasn't willing to let them get away with it. Ultimately, it wasn't just about getting even. It was about revealing the darker side of a world that's frequently kept out of the public eye. Now, you may be wondering what the fallout is like for Chrissy, Jim, and even Cameron. It's one thing to reveal a secret, but it's another to deal with the fallout. Cameron's revelations have affected the entire entertainment industry. Fans are split, with some supporting Jim and Chrissy and others demanding justice. But there's no denying that the reputation of the once untouchable couple has been destroyed as the world watches. Chrissy's world falls apart around her, and her hold on her empire erodes with every new revelation. However, the real question is whether Chrissy can weather this storm or if this is the beginning of the end for her. And what about Jim? With his legal issues getting worse, can he withstand the fallout from these exposes? Or is he truly, as the dust settles from Cameron's devastating expose, the real fallout is starting to emerge, and it's more repulsive than anyone could have imagined. Agent Jim Jones, once a renowned figure in Harlem and beyond, is now facing not only legal issues, but the complete collapse of everything he built. Federal prosecutors are now equipped with the startling accusations made by Cameron and backed by anonymous sources. The legal news surrounding Jim's neck is getting tighter by the minute. According to insiders, prosecutors have already launched a comprehensive investigation into Jim's financial activities using Cameron's leaks as a roadmap. Grand juries are being formed, former associates are being called in, and secret deals that were previously discussed behind closed doors are now being revealed in front of reporters and federal agents. According to sources close to the case, Chrissy's name appears on a number of important financial documents currently under federal review that could implicate her in conspiracy, money laundering, and obstruction of justice charges. In an ironic turn of events, Chrissy's efforts to shield Jim over the years may have actually sealed their fates. Jim is targeting everyone who touched the empire, including Chrissy. Social media is in complete control. Twitter exploded. Instagram blogs went into meltdown mode. TikTok theorists began posting detailed breakdowns of the timelines, and fans debated whether Cameron was being petty. Then, breaking news alerts appeared on all platforms, confirming that a full-fledged federal investigation was underway and that Chrissy wasn't just a ride-or-die fiancé, but was potentially a co-defendant. In the meantime, Jim Jones is collapsing under the strain. Court sketches depict him as hollowed out and broken. Nothing like the defiant rapper who once dominated stages and record charts. Private sources claim that he has been frantically trying to negotiate a deal that would minimize his time in prison. But there's a catch. To save himself, he might have to turn on Chrissy. Connections. The missing money wasn't just a scandal. It became the scandal of the year, according to insiders close to the case. Federal prosecutors are offering Jim a drastically reduced sentence in exchange for testimony against his longtime partner. The feds want Chrissy badly, but that's not the whole story. Jim, the man Chrissy fought for all these years, may have betrayed her to save his own skin. It's the kind of cruel irony that even Hollywood couldn't script better. The IRS and the Department of Justice are now stepping in to seize the luxury homes, exotic cars, designer wardrobes, and costly vacations that Jim and Chrissy have been showing off on social media for years. Every piece of jewelry, every car, and every piece of real estate property is being audited, examined, and, in some cases, repossessed. It's a complete and total collapse, and to add fuel to an already blazing fire. Other celebrities, our longtime industry friends, have abruptly stopped talking to Jim and Chrissy. Endorsement deals have been canceled. Reality TV producers are allegedly cleaning up old footage of the couple. Even Mona Scotchung, the executive producer of Love and Hip Hop, is reportedly furious behind the scenes, frantically trying to figure out how to minimize the association. Rumor has it that, as for Cameron, whether you like him or not, he's standing tall, unapologetic, and riding the wave of attention like a master while Jim and Chrissy's world burns down. Cameron is gaining thousands of followers on Instagram, and every Instagram live he does feels like a victory lap. She's thinking of re-editing old reunion shows to completely minimize Chrissy Lampkin's presence. Once upon a time, Jim Jones and Cameron were more than just rivals. They were brothers in arms, partners, and family. What we're witnessing isn't just the destruction of careers. It's the death of a dynasty. The Dipset legacy, which was once thought to be unbreakable, now lies by the wayside. After he drops, fans go into another frenzy. In the court of public opinion, Cameron didn't just win, he destroyed the opposition. Harlem itself is in mourning, and the ramifications extend far beyond Jim and Chrissy. Jim was a symbol of success and tenacity in the face of adversity, and while he was flawed, he was still a symbol of perseverance. Now, that symbol has been shattered, leaving behind a deep and bitter wound that may never fully heal. Meanwhile, Chrissy's fate is still in doubt, with Jim potentially turning state evidence against her once glamorous life. May soon be reduced to a harsh, cold prison cell. Rumor has it that Chrissy has already hired one of New York's best criminal defense teams, but even the best attorneys are powerless to remove evidence or reverse years of shady activities. Additionally, the public is watching everything. The same people who once applauded Chrissy's romantic proposals on national television are now scrutinizing every document, interview, and the last nail in the coffin is a suspicious money trail. With brutal precision, anonymous leaks are indicating that more associates connected to Jim and Chrissy's business partners, old friends, and even some names that haven't come to light yet but are allegedly deeply involved in the same corruption scandal. In other words, this isn't just a story about two people falling out of favor. It's about a whole house of cards collapsing and dragging everyone involved into the rubble. The big question is still whether Jim and Chrissy will face the consequences together or turn against one another in a last-ditch effort to survive, because in this game, loyalty is just another word for collateral damage. The empire fell apart in an instant, with Jim Jones facing the prison walls and Chrissy Lampkin looking down. The real question is whether chasing the money, fame, and false loyalty was worth losing everything they built. The Dipset dream was always doomed to collapse under the weight of its own secrets, and most importantly, who is really to blame here? Jim, Chrissy, Cameron, Harlem itself. She was betrayed by the man she once swore was her everything, and Cameron watched it all from the front row with the smirk of a man who knew this day would come. If you believe that Jim Jones deserves a second chance after all the scandals, should Chrissy be held accountable if the allegations are true? And was Cameron a hero for exposing the truth, or just a snake playing a bigger game? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. Reading everything, so don't hold back. You think this was messy? Trust me. What's coming next is the industry is set to be rocked by even more bizarre leaks, betrayals, and downfalls. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on your notifications to ensure you never miss the true stories they don't want you to hear. Because we don't only drink we spilled the entire pot. Stay locked. Stay locked.